have to start by saying this. I apologize. I really underestimated just how hard Sony dominates the gaming space. I mean, everywhere I turn, whether it's the Golden Joystick Awards, the Game Awards, or just chatter from the gaming community, it's PlayStation exclusives stealing the spotlight and taking awards left and right. And sure, some people are out here saying, oh, Sony pays for these awards. Really, bro? That's your argument? Let's be real for a second. What else is even worthy of those nominations? Games like Helldivers 2, Stellar Blade, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, or Black Myth, Wukong, all of them either Sony exclusives or heavily associated with PlayStation. And yes, I know Black Myth. Wukong isn't technically Sony owned, but for now, it's a console exclusive. Will it eventually come to Xbox? Honestly, the jury's still out, but if I had to guess, Microsoft might have already thrown in the towel on that one. Sony isn't just dominating. It feels like they've set up camp at the top and everyone else is just trying to catch up. What do you think? Is there anyone else really competing at this level? Did you hear about the new GTA 6 tease? It's got fans more hyped than ever. So, during the Golden Joystick Awards last week, the game won Most Anticipated Release of 2025. And when Rockstar accepted the award, their rep said the game is absolutely mind-blowing and hinted there's more to come. The more to come bit has everyone thinking the second trailer might be just around the corner. Rockstar isn't one for empty hype, so hearing them talk about GTA 6 like this, especially compared to how they handled Red Dead Redemption 2, feels like a big deal. As for the trailer, it's hard to say when it's coming. If it's dropping this year, it'll likely happen in the next couple of weeks, maybe early December at the latest. Some people are guessing it could show up during the Game Awards, but honestly, Rockstar doesn't really do big events like that. When they drop a trailer, it becomes the event. If they don't release it by mid-December, it's probably not happening until early 2025, maybe around their next earnings call. Either way, the hype train is full steam ahead. In a recent interview with IGN, Hinchliffe hinted at Rockstar's ambition for GTA 6. From a theoretical standpoint and what you might be able to do if you had the budget and the team size, I don't see any reason why you couldn't have that Red Dead Redemption 2 level of NPC interaction in a much larger scale game. While Hinchliffe is bound by strict non-disclosure agreements and couldn't confirm specific details, his statement strongly implies that GTA 6 could elevate NPC interactions to a scale never before seen. Rockstar has consistently set benchmarks for open-world gaming, and if it has indeed managed to replicate RDR2's level of immersion on a larger scale, it would likely redefine the genre. Unlike the rural, slower-paced setting of Red Dead Redemption 2, GTA 6 will return to the bustling streets of a modern city, an environment that presents unique challenges and opportunities for NPC interaction. A more chaotic urban sandbox requires far more NPCs, each with unique behaviors and routines that adapt to a player's action. Ben Hinchliffe suggests that the upcoming title could expand upon one of the most lauded aspects of Red Dead Redemption 2, its lifelike and immersive NPC interactions. Even 6 years after its release, Red Dead Redemption 2 remains the gold standard for open-world design. Its ability to create a living, breathing world populated with dynamic-seeming NPCs set a bar that games like Elden Ring, Horizon Forbidden West, and Starfield have struggled to match. Although RDR2's NPC behaviors were heavily scripted, the sheer volume and quality of these scripts gave the illusion of a dynamic and reactive world. Translating this level of immersion to a game like GTA 6, with its urban setting and significantly larger NPC population, is a daunting task. However, according to Hinchliffe, Rockstar is poised to achieve just that, and possibly more. Speaking of award winners at the Golden Joystick Awards, another big moment came when Black Myth took home the Ultimate Game of the Year award. During the acceptance speech, Game Science hinted at some exciting news for fans and newcomers alike, including potential new content for their acclaimed action RPG. Feng Ji, representing the studio, expressed heartfelt gratitude to players for supporting the game and helping the team navigate uncharted territory. But here's where things get interesting. Ji teased that those who haven't yet played Black Myth might have a new reason to dive in, and even those who've already completed the game should stay tuned, as a surprise could be on the horizon before the year's end. Ripple effects of Black Myth's success don't end there. Reports suggest its massive popularity has spurred Chinese investors to back more local studios, including one working on a major PS5 exclusive. While details are still under wraps, this could mark the beginning of a new era for Chinese-developed games in the global market. It seems Black Myth Wukong isn't just a game, it's becoming a catalyst for change in the industry. The achievement is remarkable, considering the title is a single-player adventure, a completely new intellectual property, and the studio's first foray into the console gaming market. This accolade solidifies Wukong as a standout in a crowded field of contenders and marks an extraordinary milestone milestone for game science as it joins the conversation of top-tier global developers. The Golden Joysticks, managed by Games Radar Plus, is the second oldest award show in the gaming industry, dating back to 1983. Despite being less glitzy than Jeff Keighley's The Game Awards, the Golden Joysticks are renowned for their commitment to spotlighting originality and excluding DLC from Game of the Year contention. Over the last 2 years, the Golden Joysticks and the Game Awards have aligned on their Game of the Year winners, crowning Elden Ring in 2022 and Baldur's Gate 3 in 2023. This trend has fueled speculation that the Golden Joysticks may serve as an early predictor for the Game Awards' ultimate decision. Beyond its commercial and critical success, Wukong sets a new bar for debut studios, signaling that game science is a force to be reckoned with in the global industry. The game's victory also underscores a growing recognition of diverse storytelling and mythologies in mainstream gaming. Whether this momentum will carry Black Myth Wukong to further victories remains to be seen, but its Golden Joystick win is already a triumph that speaks volumes about its impact on players and the industry. A new tease has left God of War fans surprised and eagerly anticipating the next few weeks. Earlier this month, we relayed word of a new rumor teasing some God of War news at the Game Awards 2024, which is set to go down on December 12th. Fast forward, and now we have a new tease from actor Christopher Judge that seems to reinforce this rumor. For those that don't know, Judge is the actor behind series protagonist Kratos. Here are the details. In a recent live stream on TikTok, Judge teased that the next 2 weeks are going to be brimming with announcements. Adding to this, he seems to tease said announcements are God of War, related by capping the tease with the iconic line, "Boy," which is a reference to the dynamic between Kratos and his son Atreus that fans latched onto back with the 2018 reboot of the series. The next 2 weeks are going to be chock full of announcements and all kinds of good stuff, said Judd. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will talk to you soon, boy. Now, it is worth noting the Game Awards 2024 is over 2 weeks away. However, in this instance, 2 weeks is likely not literally but generally. Whatever the case, there seems to be something coming with God of War. Adding fuel to the fire is Roberto Clemente, an animator at God of War Studios who recently retweeted a speculative post on social media platform X diving into what Judge could be teasing. The post features reference to Amazon's upcoming TV show Secret Level, which features God of War. The post also refers to the rumored new God of War game and the rumored return of the classic God of War games on modern platforms. Unfortunately, right now, all we have is speculation. Neither PlayStation nor Santa Monica Studios have commented on the situation, and Judge hasn't offered anything more than this initial tease. If any of this changes, we will be sure to update the story accordingly. Stellar Blade totally cleaning up at the 2024 Korea Game Awards. It won 7 major awards, including the Big Excellence Award. The event was at Bexco in Busan on November 13th, and they really highlighted how amazing the game is in areas like planning, graphics, character design, and sound. It even grabbed the Outstanding Developer Award and the Popular Game Award. That's some serious recognition. The game's director, Kim Hyung-tae, has been no stranger to these awards. This is actually the 5th time he's worked on a game that won at the Korea Game Awards. Before Stellar Blade, there was Magna Carta 2 for Xbox 360, The War of Genesis 3, and Blade and Soul. Oh, and don't forget Shift Up's Goddess of Victory Nikki, which got a win last year in 2023. The guy clearly knows how to make a hit. In his acceptance speech, Kim mentioned how risky it felt to make a console game in Korea, where that's not as common as mobile or PC games. But he credited his team and the industry for helping Stellar Blade succeed, which is pretty cool of him. The only bummer, Stellar Blade just missed the grand prize, which went to Netmarble's Solo Leveling Arise. Still, Kim wasn't discouraged. He even hinted at updates coming for Stellar Blade and promised that their next game will be even better. So, the Steam Deck OLED winning the Hardware Award at the Game Awards? It's kind of funny because it launched late last year, so it missed the 2023 nominations. But now it's finally getting its moment in 2024. The original Steam Deck was already awesome, but this OLED version is apparently the definitive version of Valve's handheld gaming PC. In their review, they said it had a ton of little upgrades on top of the amazing display that just take it to the next level. What's cool is that it wasn't an easy win. It was up against some serious competition like the Backbone 1 second-generation controller, the Asus G14 laptop, that fancy LG Ultra Gear monitor, the Turtle Beach Stealth Ultra controller, and even NVIDIA's GeForce RTX 4070 Super. Talk about a stacked lineup, and next year might be even crazier. NVIDIA could roll out their next-gen GPUs, and rumors about a new Nintendo console are buzzing louder than ever. If that's the case, the hardware category could be a real showdown in 2025. So, what do you think? Are handhelds like the Steam Deck OLED going to keep dominating, or will something like a new Nintendo console steal the spotlight? I think Sony's PlayStation 5 handheld will be a big hit late next year or early 2026, but that's a video for another day, so subscribe for that. So, after Helldivers 2 snagged 4 awards at the Golden Joysticks this week, one of the devs from Arrowhead Game Studios got real about the state of the gaming industry, and honestly, it's not all sunshine and rainbow. During an interview at the event, Alex Bowell, the production director, talked about how, while it's an amazing time for the quality of games we're getting, the industry itself is struggling big time. He said, "I think the industry these days is in such a dire state. It's so important to take the time to acknowledge that games are being released, and it's such an amazing time. But we need to be conscious that the games industry is in turmoil, and we need to be there to help each other." And he's not exaggerating. The past couple of years have been rough. Layoffs left and right. In 2023, around 11,250 people lost their jobs, according to PC Gamer. But 2024, it's been even worse. By September, Eurogamer estimated that over 13,000 jobs had already been cut. A big chunk of these layoffs has come from Microsoft. They've let go of more than 2,500 workers this year alone, and even successful studios haven't been saved. Tango Gameworks, the studio behind Hi-Fi Rush, and Arcane Austin, which made the Dishonored series and Redfall, were shut down. Moving on to the next big story of the day. The Uncharted series is one of gaming's most iconic franchises, and a big part of its success is thanks to Amy Hennig. She was the creative force behind the series, and the decision to make Nathan Drake the protagonist wasn't just a random pick, it was a strategic move influenced by the industry and culture at the time. Hennig recently opened up about this on the Couch Soup YouTube channel, while chatting with Troy Baker and Nolan North. She explained why the lead character couldn't be a woman, and it's not what you might think. It wasn't about avoiding controversy or being anti-woke. As she put it, the goal was to avoid making a dude raider. When they were developing Uncharted, comparisons to Tomb Raider were inevitable. Hennig and her team didn't want to feel like they were stepping on Lara Croft's territory. She said in an interview with GamesBeat, "No, it was nothing we could even consider, because Tomb Raider was a thing, so we deliberately chose to have a guy, not a woman, because it would feel like we were invading that territory." Instead, they created a new kind of hero, a mix of Indiana Jones's charm and a more relatable, vulnerable personality. Nathan Drake wasn't the hypermasculine action hero. He was clumsy, fallible, and often just barely scraped by. As Hennig explained, Lara Croft was this aspirational, acrobatic James Bond character, so we made ours a little hapless, a little clumsy, more like Harrison Ford in Indiana Jones, right at the limit of his ability a lot of the time, on his heels. This move was a reflection of changing ideas about masculinity in media. While Lara Croft was almost superhuman and aspirational, Nathan Drake felt more like an everyday person, someone who stumbled through danger but still managed to come out on top. That balance of humor, humanity, and reluctant heroism helped Uncharted stand out in a market full of generic action games. What's cool is that Hennig's past experience shaped this direction. Before joining Naughty Dog, she worked at Crystal Dynamics, where she wanted to create an adventure game with a strong female lead. In a way, Uncharted became her answer to Tomb Raider. Even though she wasn't able to work on that franchise directly, she poured her storytelling skills into Uncharted, crafting characters and stories that felt more personal. If you want to be ahead of all the gaming leaks and news, specifically PlayStation news, time for you to subscribe. And as always, a like on the video is very much appreciated.